to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
Well, hello and welcome to a new Stranger Vlog. I've been spending the past couple days thinking on what exactly I wanted to make this one about. And last night it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I think it's time to discuss why I'm so angry all the time. Now, there are a lot of factors that come into this. One being that I get frustrated a lot with the way people carry themselves, or the way they, what I feel, and that's, we're going to see the problem, where I feel they're not doing right. Now, I was raised in a old-fashioned style home. I was raised, luckily for the first 13 years of my life to have a mother and a father, and they filled the roles in a very patriarchal, old-fashioned kind of way. Now, that being said, I was also taught maybe not, it wasn't directly written down on paper, and it wasn't something that was, in a book that I can refer to, but I was raised in a world where you had a code of ethics, you had a code of conduct, and of course, some of these things do fall into the patriarchal sense where, a man is a man provides for his family, a man provides for his wife, and his wife takes care of him. Now, of course, that sounds very, very old-fashioned. Things aren't the way they used to be, and, society has grown up as a result, and now far be it from me to let these beliefs infringe on anyone else's rights. I definitely don't believe in my happiness, meaning my happiness comes from your oppression. But that's where my frustration comes from. As I've gotten older, and as I've gotten a little more world weary, and I've been through a couple of trials and tribulations between marriage and having a child, and losing custody of that child, you get to see a lot of injustice. Now, oddly enough, obviously I would support a patriarchal system because that system would support me in the long run, becoming the one with power. That being said, there are two different schools of thought. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, and I wouldn't say it wouldn't be an absolute power. I believe, in the Spider-Man sense, where, with great power comes great responsibility. As a man, as being, the captain of a ship, the ship, a ship can't have two captains. A ship can't have. What if one captain says let's go east and the other captain says let's go west? That ship isn't going to sail. That ship will tear itself apart. To use an old-fashioned term, a divided house can't stand. So, obviously, I'm going to support a system that would put me in power. And unfortunately, or fortunately, or whatever way you want to discuss it, that was the house I was raised in. That's the world. That's all that I knew for the first 13 years of my life. So as I've gotten older, and I've seen more of the world, and I've seen more of reality, and I think I've been blessed enough where, I'm not exactly some closed-minded. I was raised in an old-fashioned home, but I wasn't kept in the dark. Life happened, and I got to see what's what. But that being said, I still have these rules embedded in my head. Another way I could think of it is, you think of the George Costanza character from Seinfeld, where, some people do certain things and it's like, we live in a society, people. I feel that way. I do feel that when you live in a society, there are certain rules you have to follow. There are certain taboos lines that don't get crossed. And with the way I was raised, we weren't raised to accept the different. We were raised to push them out, to ostracize those who didn't want to follow the rules. A man is supposed to take care of his family. A man is not supposed to be under the control of mind-altering substances or under any kind of substance abuse. You know, even though alcohol, yes, is accepted, but you know, even that, you know, you can only drink to a certain point before it controls your life, and that's frowned upon. You know, the guy's the alcoholic, the local town drunk, or whatever you want to call it. Um, you know, that person is not someone to be admired. You know, so with that being said, I think that's why I'm angry all the time, because the people around me, the people that I deal with on a daily basis, weren't raised with the code of conduct I was raised with. The people that I'm around with on a daily basis weren't raised with the code of ethics. You know, and once again, I said I was raised in a world that ostracized the outsiders. So when you see people that aren't ashamed, people that aren't ashamed that they're on welfare, people that aren't ashamed that they don't take care of their families, you know, people who aren't ashamed that, you know, they violate their marriage vows, when you see people that aren't ashamed that, I'm going to do whatever I want because the government's going to take care of me, you know, it bothers me, it irritates me, because I was raised to have responsibility for my actions. And when you see people who don't take responsibility for their actions, or from my point of view, don't take responsibility for their actions, I don't feel pity, and I don't feel, they were raised a certain way, so I should, change everything about me. No, I still feel that way, and it's going to take a long time. And I understand I have to work on that. I understand that not everyone thinks the way I think, but does that necessarily mean that they're not wrong? Not that I'm saying I'm right, because I know I'm not right, but even, with that, does it really mean that I'm that bad of a guy? Does it mean that I'm that big of a scumbag that I expect people to take responsibility for their actions? I expect people to work hard. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to shake my finger at the crackhead that is standing by my car because I know he wants to take my car stereo, when on the inverse, my boss and my boss's boss and my boss's boss's boss is fucking me out of my pension. Both those people are trying to fuck me. Either way. Now, I use my car stereo on a more regular basis than my pension, but I understand I'm getting fucked on all ends. Just the fact that where I work right now, I'm a dispensable cog. They could get rid of me tomorrow and have another person taking my place in 2 days. Maybe not even. Maybe they're already interviewing somebody. So I'm not just punching downward as some would think I am, which I'll get into another topic, because, just the fact that you think that I'm punching downward automatically means that you think they're below me. But I think that's why I'm angry all the time. I'm angry all the time because I look at society, and society isn't following the rules that I was raised with. So, with that, I thank you for watching the Stranger Vlog. Don't be a stranger.